I'm Clinton Griffiths. Tariff news has dominated the headlines in farm country. And while many producers may see the news as negative, for cattle producers, it's turning out to be a positive. AgDay's Michelle Rook joins us with the good and the bad news.
Clinton, the impact of tariffs varies in the livestock sector. U.S. pork producers export well over a quarter of their product annually and are just coming off of a record year of exports totaling $8.6 billion to 100 countries. So retaliatory tariffs from any of the U.S.'s top export customers are a huge concern. Meanwhile, tariffs on U.S. beef and cattle imports have a net effect of tightening supplies, and that's price positive. Trade uncertainty is negative for the U.S. pork industry. On March 12th, China imposed 10% retaliatory tariffs on U.S. pork on top of the previous 25% duties. China is one of the top 5 markets for exports, but tariff tensions are also brewing with other leading buyers, including Mexico, which the industry is hoping to head off.
Well, we are working really hard to not only meet with the U.S. government officials at USDA, and at the U.S. trade representatives, which are responsible for this, but we have an active line into key members of Congress and those committees on the importance of trade and market access for U.S. producers.
The EU has also imposed 25% tariffs on U.S. pork, but it's not a big market. Meanwhile, NPPC is negotiating to avoid retaliatory tariffs with any other customers.
And so we're working with the Mexicans, Canadians, Japanese, South Koreans to ensure that we don't end up on those retaliatory lists for U.S. pork products.
China and the EU have placed the same level of tariffs on U.S. beef exports, but the beef industry is not as export reliant as the pork sector and instead sees more imports.
If we've got tariffs on beef imports, and imports are almost as big as our beef exports, if we're not importing all that beef, most of which goes to ground beef, where's your 50 CL production coming from? You're going to have to grind up some higher value cuts, which will tend to prop up your box beef prices. So I think that's part of the support factor in cattle here too.
Possible tariffs on Canada and even Mexico would likely slow sales from these top 2 beef importers.
We import, call it ballpark, about 10%, and those come from Canada, Mexico, and Brazil. So where we're getting the negative tariff news on the grain markets, it's actually a positive for U.S. cattle if we kind of limit our imports and make those more expensive.
And nearly all U.S. cattle imports originate from Canada and Mexico. Total cattle imports from Canada are at 800,000 head annually, and Mexico's feeder cattle imports stand at 1.2 million a year.
And so that market, obviously, we have lower herd numbers that have really led to this, but the tariffs have just increased that tenfold.
As a result, feeder cattle futures continue to make all-time highs. I'm Michelle Rook reporting for AgDay.